Hello humans and other species, I'm Betsy, and welcome to Skies of Discovery. But Betsy, didn't you start a new world quite recently? Well, yes, that's true, but shortly after we released it, Create Aeronautics happened, and of course, all my patrons were eager to give it a try. So here we are, in a brand new world, with Create Aeronautics as the main attraction, and like 1,000 Create add-ons for good measure. I wanted to be the season of discovery and try all of the crazy stuff. And this is the location I have chosen to start it all. It's a decent-sized island, but more importantly, it has an ocean monument nearby, and I have some silly stuff planned for that. I also want to bring back the treasure fishing farm 9,000 of Doom. But this time I have new tech that I have discovered recently. But before we can try any of that, there is one boring thing we have to do first. And of course it's getting started. So for today's project, I want to set up everything prior to making a storage system. So basically, a workstation, an iron and andesite farm, some wood and food situation, and the enchanting / villager thingies. Quite a lot to do, but I have already done quite a lot during the first days of the server. The workstation is mostly taken care of. There is just a couple of items missing, and of course I still have to set up some filters and stuff. But we have this grinder thingy, this one. In theory, with this one you can do like the raw quartz. And I saw, there we go, this one. I'm not sure how this block is called. I think you just take this grindstone thingy and place it in the drain. But I quite like this one visually. I like it better than this one. So I think I'm probably going to add this one somewhere here. Maybe on the side of this mechanical saw. Other than that, we kind of have a little bit of wood. It's not much, but we don't really need thousands of wood anyway. And I'm planning on using those apples for the food situation. So we will have to get some bees somewhere, which we haven't found yet, but shouldn't be too hard to find some. So that's the food and wood situation. We just have to automate this a little bit more. Enchanting, we are somewhat okay. So Batman is doing some villager stuff over there, and I was working on this one. So we have an enchanting table, but I wanted to do this infuser, and with this infuser we could do this one. But we need a bunch of cryom obsidian, and we also need those catalysts, not catalysts, those amethyst shards. We don't have those yet, so we need to find a geode. So once I find a geode, we need to get another netherite ingot, because we only have one of those. But yeah, that shouldn't be too hard, it's just a matter of mining that netherite. As for the workstation, I think I'm not going to expand it anymore. It's a bit wonky, but it's a bare minimums basically. Usually I make them a lot more extended, but this time I was thinking, I think I want to have dedicated machines for individual stuff instead of placing them all together. Like for example the casings. I want to have a dedicated farm to make casings. So having one of those spots making wood, and then having a deployer and having somewhere to feed the ingots. So it's always keeping like a barrel or something filled up with various casings. Instead of, manually, I need casings, or I'll have to pump here, place down ingots or whatever. I think that should be better. Especially, like I said, if we can connect all of those into this storage system, that would be ideal. And we could even just take 𝐋𝐢𝐬𝐬, so it's only producing a certain amount of casings. So it's like, keep like 400 of each one of those casings and don't produce any more than that, because limiting the production is easy. I think that should be fine. That should be cool to do. What else? Oh, right, the iron and andesite farm. So that's what I'm going to work on next. And we have some fun stuff for that. So we have these generators. I'm not sure why there is 1,000 of them. So as far as I know, you can produce most of the stuff that you can produce with liquids. So for example, stone you can produce, you should be able to produce like scoria. There we go, so there is scoria there. Yeah, I'm sure. I have to check. But all of the stuff that you can produce in Create, like if you use honey and lava, I believe it was. I think that was producing limestone So in theory, one of those stone generations, you can do them with these. So I'm thinking this should be quite easy to make an iron farm with these. So I'm thinking let's go to creative. Let's figure at least how those work, because I haven't touched them at all. I'm not sure why there was so many of them on the aiming menu, but there is just the fuels that I mentioned. So we have limestone, we have basalt, which is with ice, I believe. Scoria chocolate, stone is lava and water, but a certain alignment. Cobblestone is a different alignment, and that's about it. How do we even do any of them? If I want to craft those in survival, how do I even do that? This one gives anything, and this one says it specifically generates cobblestone. I have no idea why there is so many of them here, but I believe you can only craft this one, I guess. Oh, okay. So you can change which one you want to use at any given time. That's useful. I bet you can probably use a deployer to swap them. Maybe that will be useful for something. How do we get anything from this? Oh, I bet you need to actually extract the items. Oh, brass shoot. Okay. An improved shoot for high throughput items transport. Moves up to 64 items, but I guess this one doesn't have a filter? Sure. Oh, this generates a trillion of them. Okay, this is quite silly. This is quite silly. And it's only consuming 2,000 stress units, so that's quite crazy, to be honest. But yeah, we need to produce iron and we need to produce andesite. So what I'm thinking we could do... Oh, we don't need cobblestone. We need gravel for both things. Okay. I bet it's still useful to have 2 different milestones anyway. So this is going to produce a bajillion. Oh, is it going to produce a flint? Flint was one washing gravel. Yeah, okay. Cool, this like so. So this is not going to extract anything at first. It's only going to extract the output, so the gravel. It should go much faster. If we just have something like this, and then we could have a barrel here, and have funnel like so, and this fan could go blowing upwards. And I believe, so they don't get stuck down here, I think we're going to need some stairs. Stairs? Whatever. I think we're going to need one of those. If you want to see the thought process of how I build these kinds of farms, I often work on them on stream. I'm always open to suggestions, or even to provide help if you need it. We often brainstorm together on how to build these things. Last Friday was quite fun to figure out all of the new add-ons that we were able to use in the farm. And we also took the chance to visit Lilium, one of my Patreons, and her fun Aeronautics drill thingy. It honestly surprised me how fast it was, as well as her helicopter-like contraption. Both of them really cool stuff, and I'm really looking forward to building one of my own. We also visited Hull, and his more farm and industrial focused base. Visiting him made me realize that we can actually make stuff out of cobblestone and lava, and that we already produce most of the ores of the mod pack. So maybe we will do that in the future. And don't forget that you can also join the server by joining my Patreon. Tier 2 fungus and above get access to this server and all of the servers that I host. So I hope to see you there soon. Oh, there's a dolphin! Hello, dolphin. That's cute. Oh, there's another dolphin. Hello, dolphin. What even are you? Did you do anything? I feel like Dumbam right now. There is button. I must press button. Do you do anything? No. Oh, another one. Do you do anything? No. Oh, another one. Do you do anything? No. And this is what we ended up with. I think it turned out quite alright. I quite like few of the design choices. At the end I placed the cobble generator on the middle. The reason for that is that if I want to expand later, I thought we could keep expanding that way and we wouldn't need to restructure too much of it. Like literally all we have to do is just extend those belts and pretty much it. And if we have to expand the lava, we can expand it this way. But after seeing what Hulk did, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to do an infinite an infinite lava source and just do that instead. I think that's going to be much, much better. I went for one steam engine. It's plenty of power, to be honest. I think this has like 1,000 spare or something, so we could still add another millstone or something. We can see it's working quite decently. So I have set those to 16 because it was saturating the bells. And this way the rates are the same, but it's not going to bother this washing section. Of course, it has been stopped for a while, so the lava is going crazy right now. But yeah, this is making on the side. It goes over here. This is making the andesite alloys, and the alloys go over there. It does make a few less ingots than it does alloys, at least if you stop it. If you don't stop it, eventually it's going to do more iron ingots. If you're wondering why I'm not letting this run to fill this up, the reason is that I did a bit of an oopsie. So all of this lava is pretty much together, and this needs lava. But if the farm basically consumes all the lava, there won't be any lava for this steam engine to use. And that's obviously an issue because then it overstresses. So I'm likely going to make an infinite lava source and not bother fixing that issue. And that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, I figured out those threshold boilers. I'm not sure what mod is setting that. Delete and repeat. I have no idea what that one is at. But basically, you can add a threshold. It was pretty much as any threshold, but instead of giving a redstone signal, so more than 20 items, in this case it's the iron nuggets, should give a redstone signal, but instead it's going to void them until it goes down to 0. So I have set that for both the iron and the flint. So you can see here there is one for flint, but I think the design is quite nice. I quite like how this turned out. Other than that, I haven't done much more. I haven't had the time, to be honest, and I quite want to publish this video, so I'm likely going to finish the rest between episodes. There is Batman over there that is still working on those villagers. I'm not sure if he still has them in that village or if he moved them into his place, but that's where we're going to have enchantment and all of that. But I'm basically going to do that between episodes. I think that was enough progress for today. For next episode, like I said, I want to do the storage system. So I want to finish removing this mountain. Once this is clean, I'm going to place the storage system either in the middle or between me and that ocean monument. But that's what we are going to work on next. This will have to be it for this episode while I figure out the new storage system. I'm likely going to be streaming on Sunday, so if you want to hang out with us, we're likely going to finish all of the projects that we have left to do. Until then, have fun, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye bye!